All right. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another. Wow, how did I just blank? Welcome to another marketing agency Q&A session with me, Jordan Steen, also known as Serial Entrepreneur. If you guys are watching the replay, you can go ahead and flash forward about 5-10 minutes into tonight's call. I like to take the first little bit to say hello to everybody, let some people hop in, obviously, and get to know you, the viewers, a little bit better. So if you don't want to hear me sit here and say hello to people and talk to everybody as they hop in, if you want to get straight to the marketing related questions, like I mentioned, hop forward about 5 to 10 minutes. Somewhere in that time frame, we should begin the Q&A portion. But happy to be back. Sorry I was gone last week. I go on vacation every single year with my family. Around this time, we do a lobster fishing trip in the Florida Keys down in Key West. So that was a really great time. Had a lot of fun. Caught a lot of lobster in 2 days. I think we caught around 32-ish lobster. So, and we actually caught way more than that. Really, we caught 32 keepers that were of size. You have to keep, you have to catch, they have to be a certain size for you to keep them. So we caught 32 that were of size, but in total, we probably caught over 100 lobster. There's a ton of babies out there or just small ones that are still growing. And, for population control, they make sure that their tails or really the heads and the body is so long before you can take it. But definitely a good trip. 32 lobster to keep and eat between 6 people is a lot of lobster to eat. So again, no complaints there whatsoever. But again, I'm glad to be back. Glad to be coaching you guys again and helping you guys get your agency onto that next level. So we are going to go ahead and get started here in just a minute. Again, if you're just hopping in, do me a couple of favors. Hit the thumbs up button. Let me know you're enjoying these Q&A sessions or that you're ready to get started. Also, just do me a favor in the chat, say hello. If you haven't done so already, Angel and Arkham, what's going on, guys? How are you? Anybody, before we get started, I always like to ask, has anybody had any major wins for their agency? Have you landed any clients, anything like that? Do I think things may shut down again? Honestly, I don't know. I'm not the government. I couldn't tell you. I would say no. There's been studies going out saying, a lot of people aren't getting the vaccine. And that's why a lot of those areas have had issues. There's also, a lot of other states where those issues aren't really happening. The outbreak in Florida, I personally, this isn't necessarily fact by any means, but personally I would assume that since there's a lot larger of an older population there, you're going to have more problems that come along with that, which means you're going to have more people getting sick, more people passing away because of it. Matter of fact, like while I was on vacation, I found out my grandfather got COVID and he's also got pneumonia and now he's in the hospital. So it's a scary thing for sure. But at the end of the day, here's my personal belief, and I know everybody has different beliefs, and I hope that this doesn't take you away from respecting me as a marketer, but my belief is that, it's a virus. It's just like the flu. Yes, it is a little more aggressive. I understand that, but what I'm saying is at a base level, it is a virus, just like the flu. You can't eradicate a virus. It keeps mutating, which means unless there's a way to kill all of the strands out there, which is not what the vaccine does, you can't get rid of it. So, my opinion is that people should, especially the younger generation, should start getting it or not be as afraid because number one, unless you have some type of illness or like you have asthma or something like that where it could really, you have a chance of dying. The younger population, they handle it better physically, right? Like I had it lasted for a day and a half and I was fine. I feel like people just have to get it so that way we can build up immunities to the virus and to all of the different strains. Again, it's very much like the flu. You can get the flu at any time, but we don't make a big deal about the flu vaccine anymore because it's gone. There's been generations of people that have had the flu now, and we've built up immunities to it. And I kind of think the same thing should apply to the coronavirus, and that if we keep treating it as if the vaccine is the world's savior, we're going to have a big problem on our hands because and that's what I don't get is like people think that, oh, if you get the vaccine, you can't get it. you stand just as much of a chance as getting it. I mean, as long as you're protected basically against whatever strains they've invented or created the vaccination for. That's really it. Like the new Delta strain that everybody's freaking out about. Even if you got the vaccine, you're not protected from the Delta strain. So, and my big thing is like, I'm not going to stop living my life. You only get one life, and I am definitely not going to lock myself indoors and prevent myself from experiencing life because of something like that. And again, I get, the other side of it is, well, it's about the people who could get sick and pass from it. And I totally understand that. I'm not sensitive to that, but I am compassionate for that. But at the end of the day, it's part of life. New viruses are going to continue to develop all the time, and all we can do is live, to the best of our ability. And if you are more prone to getting sick, then, maybe you should stay inside. And I'm truly sorry that that's even something you would have to do in your life, because I would never want that for anybody, but it's just the reality. So, I can't tell you if I think things will shut down again. I don't think it's going to be anything like the first time when COVID, first came around. But, you might see some areas go through lockdowns or whatever. I actually just enrolled a student into our Done With You agency program, like last week or the week before I went on vacation. And she's in a lockdown. She's in Australia. And apparently Australia's locked down. Well, again, I'm not going to have an argument with anybody about COVID. That is not the point of the channel, because I would sit here and argue with you all night about it. But I'm not going to argue with anybody about COVID, whether you agree or disagree with me, whatever. That's not important. We're here to talk about marketing, so let's talk about marketing and get into that before we get into some type of political debate. What are some practical ways to get over rejection from a potential client, especially if you know them personally? Really, lonely is the thing you have to desensitize yourself from rejection. And really what that is, for me, what works is just understanding that, okay, this person may have rejected me, they may have said no, but somebody out there will say yes. And it doesn't matter if I know the person, it doesn't matter if I don't. At the end of the day, my main drive is to have a successful and comfortable life. So even though you don't want to work with me, fine. I'm not going to let that prevent me from moving on. And here's what you have to start. Again, the biggest thing is I never try to tell anybody they've failed. What you've done is you've learned, you've experienced something that has taught you a lesson, right? There's always something you can learn from every type of rejection that happens. So take that rejection and try to figure out what you could have done better to get the result that you wanted. Don't look at it as, okay, this person's just an ass, I'm terrible at my job, or they're an asshole and whatever. Look at it as, okay, I didn't get the result I wanted. Could I have done something better? What didn't I do properly? Those people who take that mentality on rejection, or just any type of experience where you didn't get the end result that you wanted, those type of people who are able to look at it and say, okay, I'm going to humble myself and let's look inward. Let's not blame the other person. Let's look inward and try to see, is there something I could have done differently or better that I didn't do this time that I can implement the next time that I try it? But I don't know. Personally, I've never really cared about rejection because I don't know. I guess maybe it's strong will, maybe it's confidence. I don't really let rejection get to me. I know that at the end of the day, I'm good at what I do, and if a business decides to work with me, more than likely, I'm going to get them a great result that they're going to be happy about. Watching me on the big TV. Cool. I probably got a big head on there then. The vaccine, oh yeah, that one. Another thing I wanted to talk about, I've onboarded my last few clients by sending them an email from my main domain. Will that hurt? No, that's fine. Hey Jordan, recently started my agency and have a couple of clients through personal connections. However, I have not had the time to sort out system and processes, not even contracts and proposals, any source to find templates. Payment cord. Here's the thing. If you're looking for like SOPs and the systems and contracts and proposals, The contract and proposal is the easier part. You can get an attorney to create a contract for you. Your proposal, you pretty much can just make that up. The processes and the systems, that's the part you're going to have a really hard time with. You're not going to find it out there. There is no free systems and the reason why is because people, like, for example, my agency, we spent around $250,000 and over 1,000 labor hours developing our SOPs for our agency, going through trial and error, going through efficiency testing, all kinds of different stuff. So you won't find it out there for free. And if you do find someone who sells them, like, we sell our SOPs to people, our systems to people, but they're not cheap. They're and actually they are cheap. I just told you I spent $250,000. We only sell them for $2,500, so $2,500. So they are really cheap, really, at the end of the day. But as far as getting the systems in place, you're not going to find somewhere where people are just giving those away, and it's because they're so valuable. And usually it has to do with the what's it called? The IP. It's part of the company's IP. It's part of what makes them a good agency. Donald Edwards, you should not learn code. Like, again, your job is not to be the coder. It's not necessarily to be the ads manager. You're not trying to be the graphic designer, the copywriter. Your job is to be the CEO, which means you're managing a team of people who do those things. Yes, you have to know how to talk to them, but you don't have to know code to know how to talk to a designer, right? That's not necessary. And especially, like, if you were, like, talking about, like, app development and you were trying to create, like, the next Uber, yeah, you would want to know a little bit more about coding, because then you're talking about the inner workings of the actual app and how it functions, the functionality. With a website, you don't have to be able to talk about functionality other than, hey, when I click this button, I want it to go to this page. That's it, right? So you don't need to know how to code. Or, hey, I want this to be this color, or I want it to be this size. You don't have to know coding to be able to do that. You just have to be able to explain that to the web developer. It's just a numbers game. Exactly. Dating's the same way. I mean, anything, sales type or, kind of similar to sales, it's all just a numbers game. So when it comes down to, somebody rejecting you, just move on. Guess what? There's way more out there. There's tons of fish in the sea, and that applies whether it is you and your agency or you and a girl or you and a guy that you're trying to go after. So you just got to keep moving forward. Take the positive road on it, all right? Don't look at it as this person didn't sign up, I failed. Look at it as this person didn't sign up. What could I have done better? How can I implement that into the next time that I want to go and sell something? To get clients, do you find emails in the local area or your niche and find them to book a demo? I mean, you can. I'm not really looking for... I mean, I am, but I'm not. Like, usually I'm using a tool to download a list of emails, or, I have a tool like Find That Lead, for example. You can use that to plug in a domain, and sometimes you can get the email addresses out of it. A lot of people list their email address privately, so you can't find it. But again, a lot of what we've been doing as far as sales outreach is concerned is messaging. So we're trying to get a little bit more away from email because messaging is a lot more effective. Also heard about the fees coming to SMS marketing. Yeah, but unless you're sending like 3,000 messages a day, you don't really need to worry about it. How useful would it be? Again, Donald, it's not super useful unless you're a web designer. You don't need it. So unless you're planning on being the guy who designs the websites, then you don't need to learn coding. It's not necessary. It's the entire point behind what I was trying to say is you don't need it. There's a giveaway. Yeah, we do a giveaway every Thursday. I give away access to my mentorship program. Yeah, I'm trying to ask the guy why he backed out, awaiting a response. Well, just make sure you phrase it properly, like, hey, I totally understand you didn't want to work with me. That's totally fine. It's your business. It's totally your decision. I'm just trying to make myself better at what I do. So if I could have done anything differently, or if I could have said anything differently, what was it, first of all, that made you not want to buy? And then second of all, what could I have done next, differently that might have changed your mind? That's a great way to, and sometimes doing that can actually, I've seen a sale actually come about from doing that when reaching out to people who told you no, as long as they haven't already, signed up with someone else. I've seen sales come out of those types of questions. What type of messaging do you do for cold outreach? Messenger, like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all that stuff. that's typically, or that's what we've been using. Our group is blowing up, though, I'll tell you that. We're getting tons of new members in this group. Let's see. Do you have a onboarding vid for your clients on how to create and give access to their ad account? Yes, we have. Basically, our onboarding process it includes information on how they can give us access to their programs. Yes, because at the end of the day, you just want to make it as easy as possible, and you want to get it as quickly as possible. So if you ask an average business owner, hey, add me and this email and this other person's email to your Facebook business manager, they're probably going to look at you like, what the hell are you talking about? So if you give them instructions or a video walkthrough, we do it for a lot of different things. We do it when it comes to accessing their Go High Level account, using Go High Level, getting their Facebook connected with, my account or my team. It just kind of depends on what you're trying to do. But yeah, we try. The goal, guys, is to make it as easy as possible and as fast as possible to get the information you need from your clients. And all you have to do is go to Loom. Although Loom they're a paid service now, so you do have to pay if you want. I think it's like you get 5 minutes of video or 15 minutes of video and then it cuts off. But Loom is amazing for creating like instructional videos. Do you think the fees affect us sending lead info to a client? What? No, why? Why would that affect that? Hey Jordan, is there a way I can send bulk emails without having an email list? No, the only way you can send bulk emails is if you have the list. The thing you're probably not understanding is you're thinking that you have to develop your own list. You don't. You can actually go out and purchase lists. You can purchase tools that generate lists. Like, again, Find That Lead is a tool that will literally generate lists of emails, even in a specific niche, with specific job roles. So you can do like roofing company owners in Florida, and it will generate emails that are publicly listed. That way you can add those people to an email list or an email campaign of some kind. We are getting a lot of leads. Well, if you got too many, you can always send them to me. We're always happy to take on new clients. So does anybody have any wins? Anybody doing anything? And again, guys, a win is not just getting a client. Is anything good going on in your agency? Did you get a system built that you've been trying to build, or a process taken care of that you needed to get in place? Did you make a couple new hires that are going to be, crucial to your growth as a business? I'd love to hear about you guys' wins, and what was the problem that led you to want to get to that solution that that was the win that you were talking about. Esteban, I'm going to give you one phrase that you're going to go and Google, because I'm not going to go into too much about it. I have videos on it on YouTube if you want to go check it out, but it's called cost plus pricing. All right, and very simply what that means is your cost, meaning how much it costs you to run a campaign. So for example, if you're going to do SEO, how much time is that SEO manager going to need to devote to that project? And then, so basically, and how much does he cost? Right? So if he costs, let's just say, to keep numbers easy, let's say it's $10 an hour for that SEO manager, and he's going to need to work 10 hours a month on that one client, then that would be what? $100, right? So that's your cost. All right, so cost plus pricing is your cost, plus your markup, which is how much you want to make, and that equals your price, right? So let's say your markup is 150%. So you're going to do your cost times 150%, or adding your 150% on top of that, whatever the total of 150% is. It's actually plus the 150%, but you have to figure out what that 150 is. When you do that cost plus the 150, it gives you your price. Make sense? On Monday, I am meeting with a potential client in person through a referral. Hopefully it's big. Also acquired about 1,300 emails to market to. Well, the client is awesome. Good job there. The only thing I would say is about the emails, 1,300 isn't really a lot. But it is something. But like when you're talking emails and you're doing cold emailing, you need about 100,000 to really get a good result out of the campaign. Why isn't local SEO and off-page SEO considered the same thing? Because local is actually off and on page. Local is your Google My Business listing, your listing sites or citations, but it's also the content you have on your website. Let's say you're in Atlanta, but your website never has the word Atlanta on your website. You're doing a big disservice to your business, right? Because Google doesn't have any information coming from the site that's being indexed that talks about Atlanta. So by adding in local keywords on your website, you're actually doing local SEO. Or by getting backlinks to your website from local companies. That's local SEO, but it's technically, kind of on page. In a way, I'm glad because I was really cutting him a deal, $300 for 2 businesses page and ad management for Facebook and Insta. In hindsight, I probably reduced my value by reducing. Yep. I would not charge $300 ever. It's like minimum. If you're the one managing it, then you need to charge at least $500. If you're going to hire an ad manager, which is what I recommend you do, because again, you don't want to be the one running the campaigns. I don't say this every week, but if you are going to hire an outside manager, which you should do, I would recommend $750 per account. Now, Facebook and Instagram, you can do, that's just $750 because you're essentially just clicking, do you want it on Instagram or not? If it does end up where you have to do a lot of creative asset adjustments, right? Like there's different sizing that you'll use for Facebook ads versus Instagram ads. So if you do have to do a lot of creative adjustments, you might want to charge separately. But if it's just like Facebook and Instagram and you're essentially running the same ads on Facebook that you are on Instagram, then $750 is enough. And then you can find a contractor, like my contractor, I pay her $350 a month to run PPC ads. And she's in Canada. If you get 100,000 emails, then how many will reach out? I mean, I don't have an exact answer for you on that. What I would say to expect is 1%. Cold emailing is super, super low conversion. Ding dong. All right, guys, we're going to go for about 15, 20 more minutes. Since it is my first week back, I knew it would be a little slower this week, which is totally fine because every time I go out of town, I definitely have a little bit of drop off, I guess, because I haven't been here for a week. So I figured tonight would be a little slower than normal. But still, really great conversation happening. Sorry, I've had a long week trying to play catch up and haven't been sleeping well this week because of how much catch up I've had to do. So, has the iOS update had any effect on your local biz clients compared to ecom? No, it hasn't, because a lot of my local business clients we don't even run social ads for. We're strongly focused on search engine advertising for our clients because of the nature of their business. It just makes better sense to run those types of ads there. And a lot of them are not in the second stage of their campaigns where we're starting to incorporate social ads for retargeting. So, it really hasn't impacted our clients much at all. Hey Jordan, what's your opinions on reaching out to cosmetic surgeons? Yes, they're fantastic clients. They spend a lot of money. They're not going to be in your ass as long as you're driving them clients, which is not that complicated to do. They're not going to be up your ass the whole time, complaining and asking 1,000 questions. They pretty much stick to themselves as long as you're doing your job. And they spend a ton of money because it costs them a lot of money to acquire a client. But their clients are also spending tens of thousands of dollars. How many account managers do you need per client? Per client? Just one. The account manager's only job is to reach out to the client when that you need to deliver reports, or like, for example, if a client needs something changed, they email the account manager, and then the account manager reaches out to whatever department is responsible, unless the account manager is responsible for whatever needs to be adjusted. It depends on, like, there's all kinds of different operational models for agencies. For example, I was talking to an agency owner the other day who their account managers actually do some of the ad management setup. They write email campaigns, they write blog content. So it kind of just depends on the makeup of your business. That's the thing, as with agencies, there's no just one way to do it. And that's with really any business. There's no one way to do any type of business. There's always different variations when it comes to operations and when it comes to day-to-day work, or how your products and services are fulfilled. Got hair. I have almost finished DMS 2.0. I feel like I should have been through that already, but the local SEO training in there is well worth the money for the program. DMS 2.0, dude, Chance, how long have you been in the program? You've been in it for like a year or two. That's funny. I figured you would have been done with it. How many clients per account manager? Again, that I can't give you the answer for that either. It comes down to the responsibilities that your account managers have. If the account manager's only job is to sell and basically do customer service for clients that are already onboarded, then they can have 20, 30, 40 clients. Versus somebody who's in the campaign, they're creating email campaigns, or they're creating blog content, or setting up the ad campaigns. Anybody who's doing that kind of stuff, they're not going to be able to spend as much time with doing the customer service side of things. It also depends on what your account manager is, because again, like, your account manager could be a sales rep that's also the account manager, and what they do is, again, when they just are communication between the different departments that do fulfillment and the client. Or your account manager could be somebody who is internal that doesn't do sales, but they manage accounts and they do specific tasks for the accounts that they manage. It kind of depends on, you just need to look at what is an account manager to you, what are they going to be responsible for? And once you determine responsibilities, then it'll become more clear. And really, it's just, you're going to kind of have to play it by ear with whatever you do in the beginning, and kind of figure out what is too much for an account manager to handle. And you should have an idea of that because you're kind of doing it yourself already. Hi, Jordan. Nice to meet you. I'm happy to see you doing your thing, and I've learned a lot from you. I manage about 15 accounts on my own. Andrew Michael, happy to have you here, man. Glad that you're joining us tonight. 15 clients is incredible. That's awesome, man. I hope you're not the one fulfilling all of the work for all 15 clients, because that would be stressful as hell. I'm curious, what types of training programs have you taken, Andrew? Kevin Hawthorne, what's up, buddy? Yeah, I went slow, really slow. I was trying to practice as I went along. I mean, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that approach. I just figured you were already done. I didn't think that you'd still be working through it. Whew. I need to wake up. I kind of need to eat, too. I'm kind of hungry. Oh, hell yeah. Bitcoin's up to freaking 41,000. Let's go. Did y'all hear my stomach just now? As soon as I said I need to eat something, it goes, oh, it just makes like this weird noise. I'm an account manager at an agency. We do home service clients. Okay. So you don't own the agency. You're an account manager. Got it. That's actually what I used to do. My first job out of college was at the second largest agency in the world, and that's what I was. I was a sales rep and account manager. But to do that, you had to have digital marketing knowledge. I also sold TV advertising, so like commercials on TV. We did that as well. Like, for example, like the commercials you saw in the Super Bowl like 8 years ago. That's what, I was part of that. But Ah, okay, you're getting trained at your new job. Do you ever plan to own your own agency? I've been doing this for a solid year, or so it feels like. Following every week. Yeah, Danae's always here. But that's what you get. You have to be consistent. If you show up and you follow the systems that I teach, I promise you, you're going to get to where you want to be. You recommend offering free services to build up a portfolio. Yeah, in the beginning, it could be a good way. I didn't necessarily do that myself, but it doesn't mean that it's wrong for you to do that. You can you need to make sure that you have like a set deadline. Like, look, I'm going to run this for you for 3 months for free. When I start getting you this many results, or after those 3 months, we're happy with where we're at, you have to start paying me for it. Like you have to work, you have to set up something in a contract or some type of agreement between you and the person you're going to do free work for that, they're going to eventually start paying you for all the leads you're generating for them. But that's why it's super important for you to be able to show how much money you've made them, how much value you really brought to their business. Because if you can't prove at the end of that 3 months, like, hey, we brought you $20,000 in new sales in the last 2 months. If you can't prove that to them, why would they hire you, right? So make sure you're keeping track of your numbers and you understand how much money you've really made for that business. I don't own the agency. This is my first job out of college. Gotcha. Yes, at one point, I'd love to have my own agency, probably in like 5 years after I get this knowledge and be able to practice on not my own accounts. So Andrew, why 5 years? That's a long time, man. Especially since and I get you want the experience. You want the training, totally fine. But there's training available out there that can get you there a lot quicker than 5 years. Just if you want, throwing that little piece of advice out there, a little nugget for you. If you want it, it's out there. For any new students, I would recommend going through it fast one time and then go back through again and again and again. Yeah, that's honestly the way I do it when I do any type of training. I'll go through it quickly the first time and just try to consume as much information as I possibly can. And then what I'll do after that is go through it a little bit slower. And the reason why is because it's already been put in my brain one time. Now it's that refresher, right? When they talk about when you're learning, it's all about repetition, right? So if you're going to really, really learn something and commit it to memory, you have to do it multiple times. And that's why, I don't want to go slow 14 times in a row. I'd rather go slow one time, work my way, or go fast one time, work my way through it, get as much information as I possibly can, and then go back through it again slowly. For instance, I just spent 1.9K in Bing ads by accident to the wrong company, and it was my agency. And if it was my agency, I would have to eat that. Yeah, that wouldn't be good. Definitely not something you want to do. But that's a small mistake though. Like, and I understand those mistakes can be made, but that's something it won't have. I'll tell you this: it doesn't happen often. Especially when you really get a handle on it. Oh, thanks, Andrew. I appreciate that, man. I always like getting super chats. Is that what it's called? A super chat? I think it's what it's called. They don't really it used to say on here super chat. Now it just says chat revenue. So I think the name was super chat. All right, where are we at on time? 8 o'clock. All right, we got about 10 minutes left, guys. So if you have questions, you might want to get them in now because we will be closing out soon. Thanks again for being you. About to go spend some time with my... Don't know who that would be, but Andrew, pregnant girlfriend. Got it. Okay, I was about to say, that was... Oh, God. Andrew, thank you very much for your donation. I really appreciate that. And hey, I will always be me. I'm never going to change me for somebody else. So as long as you appreciate me, keep coming back. A super sticker. Okay. Yeah, because I've never seen one with a little emoji like that or whatever this is, like almost like a GIF. So that was new. But anyways, thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Is having an agency in your early 20s impressive? My thought is anybody who starts any business, it doesn't even have to be an agency, anybody who starts a business at a young age, it's impressive. And I don't mean like those guys that, go out there and do like a MLM, like some type of pyramid scheme. That's not the same. I'm talking about somebody who starts a legitimate business, a traditional business from the ground up and does it at an early age. It's always respectable because starting a business is not easy. And that's what I hate about, again, I hate that Tai Lopez put this fucking mentality out there that, oh, you can just start a marketing agency, you'll be making millions. All you need is a phone and a laptop. It is the most stupid shit I've ever heard in my life. And I feel so bad for you guys that came into this business with that mentality because of Tai Lopez and the way he teaches and the way he sells and markets. I really feel bad for you, those of you that were misled. Where to start with starting an agency? Hey Jake, have you seen my other videos on YouTube? That's going to be my first question to you. Because I have like 1,000 videos on there. That's where I would start because you need to get some information and really figure out if it's something you want to do. And I have it's a 2-part video on YouTube that's about 3 hours long where I go through all of the basics of everything you need to know about starting your agency. Also, guys, if you haven't noticed, down in the chat, or not in the chat, in the description box for the video, you definitely want to check that out. There's 2 groups that are listed down there. I have a boot camp that's down there that we just ran. And then we also have my free public group that I run. Excuse me. You want to make sure that you join those groups. This is where we're constantly engaged with you guys. We allow people to ask questions at any time of the day. You can comment in the group, anything like that. Tai Lopez has a bad rep. I heard it many years ago. Yeah, Tai Lopez is... he's killing himself. That's why he started buying companies, e-commerce companies, and selling products that are legitimate, like tangible products instead of info products, because people were starting to bash his shit because it is retarded. Wait, if I do free service, it comes out of my pocket. Yeah, it does. I'm definitely aware. I think Ty lied just a little bit. Yeah, he lied. He lied a lot a bit. But, I can't completely hate the guy because he's the one who actually turned, without Tai Lopez, there would have been no serial entrepreneur. So, on one side, I'm thankful for Tai, but on the other side, I'm like, dude, I wish I would have started before you doing this because I would have made a lot more money, I'll tell you that much. And there would be a lot less misinformed people on what they actually need to do. But then again, maybe I wouldn't have made a lot of money. Or as much money as Tai, because I would have been honest about it, because I don't like lying to people. I don't like, say, oh yeah, this is all you need, you made millions. I don't like lying to people like that. I'm going to be straight up honest with you, and that's why my brand has done so well, is I'm the opposite of Tai. I'm a realist, with my students, with all of my YouTubers, with my viewers, with anybody, my clients. I'm a realist. I'm going to tell you straight up how it is, what it is. And I'll even tell you to your, if we sit on, a call and have a one-on-one call and we have a conversation and I just don't feel the vibe that you could actually be a business owner, you're just not meant to be a business owner, then I would tell that person. I would do it in the most respectful way possible. But, at the end of the day, I'm not here to make you smile and make you happy. I'm here to teach you the right way to build this business and to help you gain success financially. That's my job. But, all right, guys, we are getting a little late and a little low on the viewers today, again, because I was out of town last week. So we're going to go ahead and cut it off here tonight. Is there anybody on here? Here's what we're going to do. I'm not even going to make anybody play. Since it was such a small crowd tonight, everybody wins the mentorship course. If you want it, all you need to do is send a message to facebook.com/serialentrepreneur. Send a message to that link, and I'll let my admin know it's that you guys are all going to get your first month for free. Please keep in mind, after your first month, you will be charged the monthly rate. That's why you have to put, I don't get how people don't understand that. I have people who win this, and then they'll get charged $20 the next month, and then they start blasting me on Facebook like, "Hey, you charged me $20. What the hell is this?" I'm like, "Did you put in your credit card when you created your account? Because yeah, you did, because you have to. What did you think that was for? So I could charge you no dollars because it's free your first month. So what do you think is gonna happen after that?" So I'm gonna give it away to everybody tonight. Everybody who is on the call, all you have to do is, again, send a message to facebook.com/serialentrepreneur. Let me know that you were on tonight's call, and we will send you a link to get your first month of my mentorship program free, which comes with 8 base trainings, and then obviously you get access to my mentorship, which we go live every single Wednesday at 3 p.m. EST, where you can ask me questions, and it's a live Zoom call. Jordan is in an Oprah mood. It's where everybody gets a mentorship program. You get a mentorship program. You get a mentorship program. You get a mentorship program. You're all getting it. So, thank you guys for joining me. Hey, you never know what can happen when you show up on a Q&A session with me. It's just worth it, guys. And again, this actually, it only applies if you've never had the mentorship program before. Like if you've had it before and then for some reason like you just like didn't, or like you didn't continue paying for the mentorship program for some reason. Like, I'm sorry that this one time, the giveaway doesn't necessarily apply to you guys. I'm sorry, but you've already been in it. You know what it's about. That's the whole point of giveaways, is to like get people in there and say, "Hey, you should do this long term," right? So I hope you guys understand, but yeah. I bought a course from Jordan before, he's legit. Appreciate that, Raphael. I'm definitely legit. I wouldn't have been doing this for almost 5 years now if I wasn't legit. That's for damn sure. But that is it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to get out of here. You all enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next week again. I go live every single Thursday at 7:30 p.m. EST. Make sure to check the description right below because it has all of my group links. It has tools and software we use. It has my courses and my website information down there. Make sure to check that out because I promise you that is one of the most what was I going to say? Oh, fuck. I just forgot the word I was going to use. I was going to say resourceful, but that's not the word. Helpful areas below the video. I don't know. You guys get what I'm saying. It's helpful. Check the links out below. And don't forget, facebook.com/serialentrepreneur. Shoot us a message and let us know that you were on tonight's call, and we will send you a link at some point tomorrow probably for you to get access to the mentorship program. But that is it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great night. Have a great weekend, and I will talk to you next time. But until then, Serial Entrepreneur out. Bye.